Welcome back to Good Evening KU. I'm Olivia.
And I'm Jenna.
Jenna, why do we have these glasses on today?
No, we have a solar eclipse going on right now here in Kansas and all over America right now. And I just thought these would be cool to have on for right now.
Yep. Make sure you take special precautions when you're looking at the solar eclipse so you don't cook your eyes looking at the sun.
I know. I wore them. I mean, I looked at the sun without wearing them, and my head definitely was starting to hurt after doing that, so I don't recommend it.
It looks pretty cool outside, though. It looks like it's getting a little bit darker outside, and you can see everyone sitting outside looking at the solar eclipse with their special glasses on, hanging out with their friends. Maybe people's classes were canceled for the special occasion.
I've never seen so many people outside before.
I know.
I was like, wait, what's going on? I almost forgot.
It's a nice community event going on right now outside.
Yeah, my whole family, like, they're all outside at home watching it. My mom put my dog, like, glasses on my dog and stuff too. And
That's cute. The dog can look at the solar eclipse
Yes.
too. That's nice.
So how was your weekend?
Good. I just did a lot of dog sitting this weekend, so I pretty much stayed inside all day.
Making money, you
know.
Yeah.
I took them for a little trip to Lawrence because it was out in Baldwin.
Oh,
and we got lunch outside because the weather was nice.
Yes.
So yeah, it was really nice.
Cool. Yeah,
What did you do this weekend?
I just worked pretty much, enjoyed the weather, went and got a car wash, and then it rained, of course, the very next day, which I did not appreciate. Sorry, tonight we have a big event. It's the NCAA Men's Championship game for basketball. We have UConn and Purdue playing. Who are you hoping
I hope
wins?
Purdue wins.
Yeah.
UConn won last year, and KU did beat UConn, so I want them to lose.
Yeah, I'm definitely going for UConn because I was hoping that UConn women's was going to win. So I'm kind of wanting the men's to win this year. And because KU beat them, I feel like if UConn wins, it makes us look even better, even though we lost.
Fair. I want Purdue to win, but
yeah.
Anything you got planned this week?
You know, I'm just going to be working, kind of preparing for finals, like ending like projects and stuff for classes.
Yep.
That's important. I mean, we only have 4 weeks left of school, which is a pretty big deal.
Yep, the grind is starting. Definitely feeling the stress and the pressure.
Yes, exactly.
But just got to keep moving on.
Yeah. Do you have any fun plans for summer at all, or?
I do. I'm actually going on a cruise after school ends, so
Nice.
I'm really excited for that. Yeah.
Where are you going? Is it like Caribbean or?
I'm going on the east side of the Mexico.
Fun.
I don't know what it's called.
I've never been on a cruise. I feel like I'd be freaking out.
Yeah, I was invited on this cruise with my boyfriend's family, so I'm really excited.
Fun.
Yeah, and
yeah,
I'm
that'll be
going
fun.
to Mexico in July, so that's really cool.
Good. Yeah, I'm going to New York for my birthday. Lots of trips to the lake planned.
That's
where I like to spend my
love the
summers.
lake.
Yes, I do too. That's probably like my favorite place to be.
What lake do you go to?
I go to the Ozarks.
Nice. I just started watching Ozarks on Netflix.
You really?
Have
I've never seen it.
It's so good. It's crazy. I love it.
I do too.
Yeah. Well, do you have anything else to add?
I don't. We'll be back with news right after this short break.
Yeah, I always just clap in this part.
This is where everyone's talking amongst themselves. Do you know how to do it? Do you know how to do it?
Are we supposed to smile?
When do we start? Somebody over here already started.
Can we talk about how the piccolo part's the most complicated one?
It is. If you listen, you're doing it when the band's not playing.
You have to tell me when it starts. I still don't know.
Here we go. Just clapping now. No humps. Nailed it.
I practiced this morning.
Mine was just two people.
It has a right and a wrong way of doing it. No. Wrong.
I like my way better.
I don't know how to
1,
do
2,
the
3,
end.
4.
It's just I don't know the
Sorry.
head.
It's hard by yourself.
Hello, I'm Taylor Crouch, and I'm here today with Lori Crouch, also known as my mom. So Mom, from being a news anchor and working with the City of Norfolk, becoming a managing partner to starting your own company, what have you learned from these years of working?
Well, good afternoon, Taylor, and thank you so much for having me on the show. And it's good to see you. I've learned a lot over the years. I think the biggest takeaway for me has been keeping really good relationships. I am a Navy wife, as you know, and because of our naval career, we moved in and out of the area a lot. We live in Norfolk now, and so having the relationships here that I started early on as a reporter and an anchor served me really well when I moved back to the area, to be able to reconnect with people, continue to build relationships, do a lot of networking, meet new people, and that has really served me very well in my career in this area.
What is one of your most memorable moments from being a news reporter?
I've had a ton. I was really blessed to be able to open a new exhibit at Disney World. I think one of the most amazing opportunities I had was to spend a month in Iraq back in 2014 as part of the CBS and Fox affiliate out of Jacksonville, Florida. We went in country. I got to fly off and on an aircraft carrier. I met a lot of the amazing people that lived in the country. At that time, the transition from Saddam Hussein had kind of was happening or had happened, and the police in the country were under a lot of attacks, and so we had an opportunity to meet with them, meet the residents of Iraq, the citizens of Iraq, and talk to them about what it was like to have the U.S. and NATO support, supporting countries come in and help with providing clean water and rebuilding transportation and infrastructure. And so it was a really memorable trip for me. One of the things I remember the most is, we learned before we went in country and were meeting with people what the rules were, how we were to talk with them, how they were to engage with us. But the kids were very fascinated when we saw our TV cameras. They wanted to see themselves. I talked with a gentleman who wanted to tell me how upset he was that a tank had knocked over his fence and his cow got out. So there was a lot of just activity around us. We had a really great translator, but it was really neat to be in that area, and I was quite honored to share those stories while I was there. And I also had an opportunity to see your dad. He was on a 8th month deployment, and so I got to fly onto the ship where he was at and got to see him too.
I also saw that you were an Emmy-nominated broadcast journalist and that you were honored with a Pinnacle Award from the Public Relations Society of America. And I just wanted to ask, who are the Public Relations Society of America? And then what was your Pinnacle Award for?
So Public Relations Society of America is an organization, it's a national organization of public relations and communications professionals. It is been a great opportunity to be a part of that organization. It's really good for someone who's starting out in the public relations field to start to build relationships and network, connect, learn. That's a lot of great professional development. I'm the current president of the Hampton Roads chapter of Public Relations Society of America in our area. And so it's been a real honor for me to serve our members here and connect in new and exciting ways with our national leadership. I earned the Pinnacle Award for work that I did when I first started with the city of Norfolk as their communications director, putting on a 4-block, we called it Meet, Greet, and Imagine Norfolk. And we shut down one of the main thoroughfares in downtown Norfolk and put on an economic development, placemaking, really fun, interactive event, and for like no budget. And I won an award for that.
You also have the APR title. What does APR stand for?
APR stands for Accreditation in Public Relations.
And then do you feel like having that APR certification makes you stand out more to companies?
Definitely. I have seen and been part of requests for proposals or RFPs where companies are specifically looking for an accredited public relations professional. And so there's a lot of value in that for a public relations professional, whether you are transitioning from like what I did, being a broadcast journalist to then becoming a PR professional, or just going through the PR ranks and coming out of college and staying in. But I really really think there's a benefit to that, and more companies are recognizing the value of having employees with their APR, as well as having value add to being part of proposals that I get to work on because I have my APR.
Well, what advice would you have for anyone who wants to go in these certain fields that you have already been in?
So my biggest piece of advice is network. And, I've said that to you a lot, become a part of clubs, the club that you're in now, any other clubs on campus that involve PR, any internship opportunities, and reach out to the parent organizations of those. So like if your PRSSA chapter at KU has a parent organization, being partners with those parent organizations to really engage with professionals that are currently working is really, really important. But I think, I'll speak for myself in that any opportunity that I had to bring on an intern and mentor an up and coming professional is something that was really important to me. It's important to me now with my, as president of my chapter, and we are really working hard with the university students in our area to give them opportunities because we're all going to move on. And so you all are the next generation in these fields. And I think networking, getting to know people, reaching out, don't be afraid to reach out and talk to folks, because a lot of professionals really want to help the next generation of, broadcast journalists or PR practitioners. So definitely networking and socializing is really important.
Well, this has been really informational, but is there anything else you would like to add today?
Now, I really appreciate the time to be on the show. This is kind of fun and rock chalk because I'm an alum. So anytime I can support my Jayhawks, I'm all for it.
Well, thank you for this time, Mom. And it was great seeing you again as well. And I will see you for Thanksgiving next year.
Sounds good. All right.
Bye.
Bye. Love you. Bye.
Missed the bus again?
Yeah.
You should download My Bus Lawrence. You can see when buses are arriving here, and you can also see where the buses are in Lawrence.
Wow. Okay.
Download the My Bus Lawrence app today.
Welcome back. I'm Elena.
And I'm Charlotte. We are here with your Good Evening KU News brief. We don't have the teleprompter on quite yet, but our first brief is about the solar eclipse. The KU Physics Club and the society there decided to host a watch party for the solar eclipse viewing today. They watched from around 11 and that goes until 3:30 today. There will be people sitting by the lead center, and students and community members gathered to witness an eclipse that peaked at about 90% totality, meaning the moon covered about 90% of the sun.
Country music star Morgan Wallen was arrested early this morning after throwing a chair off a six-story building in Nashville. He was charged with reckless endangerment and one misdemeanor of disorderly conduct. The single's lawyer is rumored to be releasing a statement sometime this evening and has a court date on May 3rd.
U.S. President Joe Biden and Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida are scheduled to meet in Washington this week to discuss ways to reinforce the alliance between their nations. Against the backdrop of a potential shift in American foreign policy, especially with the possibility of Donald Trump returning to the White House, the meeting holds significant implications for the future direction of U.S.-Japan relations.
The Lawrence community came together over the weekend to celebrate the grand reopening of the Silencio Park skate park, which underwent a $250,000 renovation led by the Lawrence Skaters Association. The park's revitalization introduces exciting new elements, including a 4-star rainbow rail and upgraded ledges, offering skaters a fresh and exciting experience. That's all we have for news. Now we'll throw it over to Jacob and Ashley with sports.
The South Carolina women's basketball team took down the Iowa Hawkeyes yesterday in the national championship game with an 87-75 victory. South Carolina was able to remain undefeated with the win, marking the first time since 2016 a women's basketball team has completed their undefeated season. Iowa's Caitlin Clark had 30 points in the game, including an 18-point opening period. Clark will likely be the overall pick in the upcoming WNBA draft.
Today, Purdue will be taking on UConn for the 2024 March Madness title. Starting with the Boilermakers, Purdue made the Final Four for the first time since 1980. This team is primarily led by senior Zach Edey, who this season averaged 24 points and 12 rebounds a game. That helped Purdue cruise to a 34-4 record while dominating their way through the tournament, leading them to play NC State in the Final Four, who was in a magical run this March. However, this Cinderella story was put to an end, with Edey scoring 20 points on top of 12 rebounds, leading Purdue to a 63-50 victory over the Wolfpack. The Boilermakers will now have to take on the Huskies for the title. UConn is also on a magical run themselves, being the 2023 national champions, who are looking to defend their title going back-to-back. The Huskies have dominated their way through the regular season with the record of 36-3. They won the Big East, and then they beat a very strong Alabama team, securing their spot in the national championship game. UConn has studs all over the roster, which would be very challenging for Purdue to handle. The clear matchup to watch in this game will be against UConn's 7'2" center, Donovan Clingan, and Purdue's main star, Zach Edey, who at 7'4" is also a two-time Player of the Year. Clingan is likely to be the best center Edey has played all season, as these two heavyweight teams take the court tonight at 8:20.
The softball team swept Iowa State this weekend to raise their record to 25-12-1 overall and 10-5 in the Big 12 Conference. The Jayhawks now sit in 4th place in the Big 12, just a half game behind Texas. The top 6 schools will earn a first-round bye in the conference tournament. KU will next travel to Texas Tech for a weekend series with the Red Raiders.
The baseball team was not as fortunate, as they were swept in 3 games by West Virginia and have now lost 4 in a row. After a tough 7-6 Friday night loss, the Mountaineers shut out KU 4-0 on Saturday. The Jayhawks rallied multiple times on Sunday, but finally ran out of gas in a 16-9 loss.
KU is now 15-14 overall and falls to 7-8 in the Big 12 Conference. The Jayhawks will host Nebraska tomorrow night at 6 p.m. and then will take on Pacific for a 3-game series this weekend at Hogland Ballpark.
The track and field teams competed in Tucson, Arizona this weekend, with the men finishing in 2nd place, while the women were 3rd. Sophomore Tayden Clean won the men's decathlon to place the Jayhawks, while on the women's side, Gabby Gibson broke her own school record in the 100 hurdles for the 3rd time this season, and Lana Latema won the 1500.
KU senior soccer player Shira Elanov is set to play for the Israeli national team against Slovakia and Serbia this week. The matches are part of the group qualifying for the 2025-26 UEFA Women's National League. Elanov has collected 15 caps playing for her national team and 59 for Kansas as she heads into her 5th year.
And if you're looking for something to do Friday night, the football team will host its spring showcase at Rock Chalk Park.
That's all we have for sports. Next, Emma has the weather for us.
Thanks, guys. Well, taking a look at some of our headlines from this week, just recently today, we had the partial solar eclipse come through Lawrence, and it wasn't super noticeable. The sky definitely got darker, but nothing too extreme. Now, as we go throughout the week and into the weekend, we're definitely going to be seeing a lot of higher temperatures all the way into the 80s, peaking at about 85 throughout the weekend. However, after that, we're going to be seeing some cloudy and rainy skies early into next week, some thunderstorms, and some stronger wind speeds. Taking a look at our current temperatures, we're sitting at about 69 degrees right now in Lawrence, and it's about the same everywhere else. 66 in Kansas City, 64 in Leavenworth, 65 down in Ottawa, and 61 in Topeka, which is kind of the biggest difference we're seeing in temperature. Taking a look outside right now, we can see those pretty sunny skies, no clouds really visible, but we are going to be seeing some more clouds into the evening. Currently, we're sitting at about 69 degrees, super sunny skies again with lower wind speeds than what we've been seeing lately. Wind speeds are at about 6 miles per hour, and the humidity has definitely gone down since the past couple of days, sitting at about 33%. Taking a look at our hourly planner, tonight around 4 p.m. is expected to be around 72 degrees, still pretty sunny, but those clouds are going to start making their way through, and as the night goes on, it's going to get more cloudy until about 10 p.m. when those clouds will start to disperse and then gradually go away. Temperature-wise, again, sitting at about 72 at 4 p.m. and going down from there until about a low of 55 at 10 p.m. Taking a look at our radar, we have these clouds down here are making their way slowly up towards the east side of Kansas. Nothing too severe, but we're definitely going to be seeing a little more clouds as we get further into the day and into tomorrow. Tonight's forecast, we're looking at a low of about 43 degrees, cloudy throughout the evening again, and we're also seeing a new moon tonight, which means nothing too bright. You aren't getting that kind of brightness from the moon that you would normally see. Humidity is being raised just a little bit to about 52%, nothing too extreme, still a pretty nice night. Tomorrow's forecast, now we're looking at a high of about 72 degrees. Again, those partly cloudy skies throughout the day and lower wind speeds, which we're also seeing today. Higher humidity is going to be raised just a little bit at about 42%, and those winds are at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Now, talking about the eclipse from today, here is the path that the eclipse will be taking throughout the day. Obviously, nothing too severe near us. Closest thing is probably in Arkansas or maybe Missouri. However, we did just see the peak of the eclipse that we're going to see was at about 1:53, and it was a partial eclipse today, and it's been nicknamed the Ring of Fire. Here is the projected outlook as well going through. Obviously, again, max percent coverage at about 88%, and the time of the max eclipse that we saw was 1:53. Something to be aware of, there won't be another eclipse like this for another 20 years, so if you got a chance to see it, then it was a pretty cool thing to see. Taking a look now at our sports forecast, the softball team is headed to Texas this weekend to take on Texas Tech, and there we're seeing an average of about 82 degrees, partly cloudy skies similar to here, but definitely some more stronger wind speeds. Now the baseball team will be traveling to Omaha, Nebraska on the 16th, which is next Tuesday, and they're going to be looking at a high of about 73 degrees that day, windy with a lot of scattered thunderstorms in Nebraska, and higher wind speeds as well. Taking a look at our extended forecast this week, we are seeing a bit of a rise in temperature between tomorrow and Wednesday, peaking at about 73 degrees, then a bit of a dip at the end of the week, and then as we get into the weekend and next week, we're seeing a major rise in temperatures, 86 degrees on Sunday, 85 degrees on Saturday, and with those sunny skies, it's going to feel pretty warm outside. Well, that's all we have for weather. Thank you for watching Good Evening KU, and we'll see you here next Monday.